2024 new watch releases. What are they going to be worth in the next 6 months? Stay tuned and find out. Well, I'm going to jump right into the first watch, but before I do, this isn't something that me and Adrian like doing, predictions per se, but
call it speculation.
How many DMs did you get? What do you think this is going to be worth?
Still going through them.
Yeah, still going through all the DMs saying, hey, what is this going to be worth? Let's start with the first watch, and the first watch is going to be Rolex GMT-Master 2 with black gray bezel, the 126710GR&R.
I mean, this is pretty much a gimme for anybody. I don't think anybody would disagree with the fact that this is going to trade for well over a premium of its retail of $10,000. It's almost irrelevant.
Was it 10.7 on the Oyster, 10.9 on Jubilee?
Yeah.
In comparison to the Batman, does better or worse?
Oh, much better. Much better. Yeah, because
give me a price.
You got the faded gray bezel.
Give me a price.
It's just a new,
Give me a price. I'm throwing it in the category.
At first release.
Yes.
Over 25,000.
So I'm going to say 20 to 30K.
Yeah. Oh, that's how we're doing it.
Yep. Well, that's the buckets that I have anyway. But so this is going into the 20, 30K. Next watch is going to be the Rolex Gold Deep Sea MSRP 52,100.
AKA Deep Sea, AKA keep you down at the bottom of the sea, put that thing on.
Okay, so a lot of people were speaking negative of this. I actually love this watch because they discontinued the Yachtmaster 2, right? The big yellow gold. So it doesn't really leave a big gold watch from Rolex. You're giving me the look like I'm crazy. I mean,
I like the watch. Skies are still big. Skies
not as big as that.
No, it's not as big as that. There's not a lot of things that are as big as that. Look, I mean, I really think this is going to be one of those where they don't really make a lot of them. This might be like one of the deep sea challenge type things. 52,000 list. I'm saying it's going to come out at the market at 85,000.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I am.
I was gonna go that 60 to 70 range, but let's go to the next watch.
How 52,000 list? You're paying tax. You already. I mean, I'm talking about in the immediate release.
Now the baguette bezel Daytona, the 12659.
These are trap cuts. These are trap cuts.
These are we call them the square diamond cuts.
I believe this is an off-catalog piece at 120,000 retail. It's north of 200, in my opinion.
So you think this falls into the same category as, let's say, your Sacos?
Not quite. Okay.
As your baguette diamond platinum Daytona.
Somewhere along the lines.
Well, first of all, it's a pretty watch. Let's start there.
Very pretty watch. Yeah,
it's a really pretty watch. I like the diamond dial.
Trap cut bezel. I mean, it's a yellow gold Daytona. I'm gonna go sub 200,000. I'm gonna go between. Is there a category?
Hold on, it's 100K plus.
Yeah, that's all we got. 100K.
Yeah, we got 100K plus. This is the six-figure club. Let's go to the next watch.
175.
175. Okay. Let's go now. This is the one I deem to be ugly because there's something about round diamonds on a bezel on a Daytona that it just doesn't.
I tend to agree.
It just doesn't work for me. Reasonable retail pricing for what it is, right? Diamond bezel, diamond MOP dial looks like MSRP 61.4.
Look, I would say the problem with this watch, real quick. I know this is not supposed to be a watch like review, but these Daytonas with round brilliant diamond bezels, they work well on leather straps because it looks like a dressy watch. It looks like a piece of jewelry. The moment you put Oyster Flex on and make it sporty, kind of throws it off for me a little bit. 61.4 list, I'm going under 100. I'm going to go over between 80 to 100,000.
So 70 to 80 grand or 80 to 90?
80 to 90.
I was going to put that below list.
No. Yeah. No, it's Oyster Flex, man.
I get it. It's just not pretty. Let's go to the next watch. Yeah. It's okay. Let's go to the next watch. The Rolex Platinum 1908 with the 𝗙𝗿𝗄𝗃 dial. Now, I got a new appreciation for 𝗙𝗿𝗄𝗃 dials when I was in Geneva, and the guy actually made me make one. And I knew how difficult they were to make, but when you actually experience to try to make one, you realize how is. My only issue with these is this is a Cellini reinvented, and it's going to be a dog.
I said this as well. I'm not a fan of the 1908s and the other metals, but something about platinum and baby blue always hits home for me. I think it's an over retail watch in the very beginning, but I think as time goes on, 2-3 years from now, I think it's a $25,000 watch.
I'm gonna put this one 20 to 30K.
No, more.
30 to 40?
30 to 40.
Okay, well, now in case you guys are wondering why Adrian is spitting out the numbers, most of you already know, Adrian is head of procurement here at Luxury Bazaars. So ultimately, he makes the final decision on what to pay for a product, what the product is going to sell for in a more open market. And based on his experience, I realized that it's going to be given numbers. Let's go to the next watch. Rolex Sky. Now this is what? Jubilee?
Okay, look, I'm just gonna go off with the current market price on an Oyster one. It's still over retail at 50 in rose gold. So if it's 51.9 list, let's say a slate or chocolate somewhere around 55K, brand new.
50 to 60, would you say?
I'm gonna say more 60 to 70.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a pretty watch on Jubilee. Just like
there's a lot going on. There's a lot of jubilation.
it's not a jubilation.
A lot of jubilation.
A lot of jubilation.
It's just a lot.
You heard it here first. A lot. Well, not first. He said it before. A lot of jubilation. Let's go to the next watch, and the next watch is going to be another Day 40.
That's a 60 to 70 for me.
Why? 41,000.
Wow, man. Look, greens are still 55,000. They've been out for almost 10 years. It's 41.5 MSRP. Nobody's going to sell it at a loss. So 41.5 plus tax out the door, you're into it for 46,000. I mean, whoever's going to sell is going to try to get a profit, and there you go.
So you're saying 50 to 60?
Yeah.
I'm going to go.
It's very interesting to see what the dial is actually going to look like in person. Like I saw.
Well, that's the one that they kind of released and nobody really knew about it. They showed it at some award show, and then it kind of quietly got shown to the public, and everybody's like, "Oh, wait a minute!" And of course, the internet caught on.
When Watches and Wonders comes out in March or April, well, when was it? Was it April?
It was in April. I was just there.
The first drops and releases of these things, let's say all the on-catalog pieces, they're going to drop by September. So the moment that they all drop, let's give it about a 6-month time span of the prices that I'm giving. Fair?
Okay.
So 6 months after drop. Okay. This is where the market
because look, at the end of the day, we've gone back to it's more or less a normal market, not like it used to be, but back in the day, well, it was the same thing over and over. The minute a new Rolex drops, it came out high out of the gate and it slightly came down 10 to 20%. Do you agree?
Yeah, there's more juice in the market now.
Yeah, but then there's certain pieces here like the diamond, like the square cuts, Daytona, that's not going to come down. You're not going to be able to get that period.
It's all catalog,
but stuff like this, I feel like has room to come out high and then maybe drop 5 to 10%.
It's going to produce a lot more. We have to see how people react to the actual slate dial. I mean,
well, here's one. The next watch is one that you've already seen saw in the market. The new 5980. This is the quote unquote Gene dial.
Yeah, without a doubt, over 100,000.
But did you see one on the market already?
Yeah, we already hit the next slide. You've thrown my guys in there, Patek Philippe. It's a wrap.
Okay, it's 80,000 MSRP. You've seen one already on the market?
Yeah,
how much?
175,000.
Where does it stabilize at?
See, that's where things get interesting. I wish I knew where.
Well, I'm throwing this in a 100,000 plus column, but what are you thinking based on yours?
Plus? Where it settles?
No, where's it settle? 100. You said 175. You saw one on the market.
Look, just based on the rose gold one, and I know this is like the new shiny toy, but it is white gold, and I think it settles in around 135 eventually.
Gotcha. Let's go to the next piece, and that's going to be, again, not a big surprise from Patek. They take an existing model, they're making a different metal a couple of years later. 5164G.
I've seen that 150 already.
150.
Yeah.
Are you surprised that this is okay? What do you think this stabilizes?
I think it stabilizes over. Man, it's tough to say because it's like you're trying to compare and contrast a 63,000 list. It's like you're trying to compare and contrast it to what's already on the market. So let's compare it to the 5164 in rose gold.
Okay.
Historically, rose gold brings more than white gold. Also, rose gold has been out on the market for 10 years. So it's really hard to compare and contrast, but I think it settles in around 105.
105.
Yeah.
I was going to say 120.
It's still going to be a really, really hefty premium.
I'm going to put that in the $100,000 plus column, of course.
100%.
And I'm going to go to the next watch, and that's going to be the 5738R, the golden ellipse. Now, I don't know how much reading you did on this watch. What's particularly amazing about, the watch itself is okay. It's not that big a deal. It's a time-only watch. What is a big deal about this, and I'm afraid that a lot of people won't appreciate, is the bracelet. That bracelet is made link by hand, put together. The bracelet on this thing is just out of this world. Unfortunately, in today's market, a lot of people don't underappreciate the craft of making that bracelet. Like that bracelet, I think I saw maybe even from Patek, they put out a video how that bracelet was made, and hence the hefty retail tag, $60,000. And I know you're gonna say that I know you appreciate craftsmanship, and what is this gonna trade at?
I'm just a numbers guy, right? My opinion is my opinion. I just know that they're gonna make you buy that to get the things that were in the previous slides.
So what do you think this ends up on the market at, on the secondary?
50? 50? 50?
I think you're being generous. I was gonna say 40 to 50. And it's a shame because
I'm trying to amp up my guys at Patek Philippe if you're watching.
I'm gonna put this at 40 to 50. Let's go to the next guy. And that is the 5160 perpetual calendar with retro. So they discontinued the 50 What was the previous one?
It was just the white gold one.
It was they discontinued the gold one again. No surprise, they come out with the next one in rose gold.
Well,
these things retail for a ridiculous amount of money. Again, it goes back to craftsmanship, the hand engraving, 202,000 list. We've yet to sell one of these over list its predecessors.
Well, I sold the latest one. Let me get out my phone real quick. 175,000. That was for an unworn example, and I think that was a very inflated price because they just discontinued it. And that's high for where the market was.
And white gold, I think, retails for slightly more than the rose.
I don't even think that matters. I think that it was not a watch that really brought a lot of hyper premium on the market.
I think it's a watch that was appreciated by the right people. It was just very expensive. I mean, listen, it's a full-blown Perpetual and it's hand engraved. 202,000
retail. Obviously, it's over 100,000, but I think it settles in around 165.
Okay.
160, 165.
We'll put that in the over $100,000 column again. Next watch. Tudor, no, we're going to switch gears a little bit. Tudor Master Chronometer Certified Black Bay 58 GMT. Okay, $4,600 to $4,400 depending on rubber or on bracelet. I think these settle around the same price every other Tudor settles. And I'm going to put that in a $3,000 to $5,000 price range.
I'm going to go with 3 to 5.
I mean, when they come out of the gate, obviously they're going to be more, but 3 to 5, it's definitely under 10K and definitely going to settle to that $3,000 to $5,000 price range. Let's go to the next guy, another Tudor Master Chronometer Certified, Monochrome Black Bay. I think that the Monochrome actually fetches more than the last watch we looked at.
So the Jubilee type bracelet, I think that's a watch that settles between 4 and 5. For the time being.
So I think these have an opportunity to just trade at list and maybe slightly over list. The one with the riveted bracelet.
I don't go over MSRP on these. I feel that they're just going to be readily available. So okay. I think
it's definitely going under the 10K column. Let's go to the next guy here. This is a good one, and this is the Tudor Black Bay 58 and 18K. Right?
Very brave soul who's going to buy that.
So I said I think when I was in Geneva filming, I said that, you know, this Tudor is doing their best to sort of put themselves in the realm of their own, slowly inching up to its mothership, i.e. Rolex, trying to get there in terms of aesthetics. The quality is the same.
Now you just say slowly inching up to their mothership?
Yeah, i.e. Rolex.
What does slowly inching up mean? Like millennia?
Like they used to be like this. Now it's more
centuries or millennia? Like what's the scale?
Decades.
Decades.
Wow.
Huh.
I don't think, look, Tudor used to be
buying up Tudors.
So Tudor used to be like non-existent. There was nothing.
Listen, I think for the money under $10,000, Tudor, I tell people all the time, is my favorite.
Okay, but now they come out with a $32,000 gold watch, which is a beautiful watch. You can't take that away. Aesthetically, this is gorgeous.
I think Rolex should do a gold Hulk based on this. It kind of looks like a Rolex.
But again, what do you feel the fate is going to be? Because this is a $32,000 Tudor.
25 back. So do the math in your head. 25 back.
22.5.
Yeah,
roughly 23,000.
So 20 to 30.
So 20 to 30. Okay, fair enough. Let's switch gears from Rolex and its stepchild and go to Cartier, Santos de Cartier dual time. This is very cool. Now,
I like this.
We're regular steel Santos, obviously minus the dual time trading.
So Santos for us, and I think pretty much everybody else in the market, it's our number one seller from Cartier's collection by far. Santos. It's just very sporty. It's a daily piece. It's
also a very flexy watch. People know what it is.
Exactly. I mean, you got hip hop artists icing them out and stuff that kind of took it to the next level. I think that it settles under 10,000 though.
Right, it's going to be under 10,000. It's not going to be over list. But I feel like it's going to be close to retail. It's going to be in that $7,000 to $8,000 price range when all is said and done. You're not going to see big discounts on this piece. I mean, let's go to the next Cartier, and this is where it's questionable because, Cartier, Santos-Dumont. Rewind. This is part of this, collection privé. This is appealing to that vintage, neo-vintage Cartier collector. And here they come out of the gate with a watch that seemingly, from a glance, doesn't look like a whole lot, but the MSRP is $38,400.
I think it's a high barrier entry, $38,400. It's a very niche market. The problem is this: is that when you're talking about primary or secondary, when it comes to the collection privé stuff, they have a very dedicated group of collectors that are out there buying the stuff, but they're buying it from Cartier. Good, I'm gonna go 40 to 50, not to piss them off.
No. Unfortunately, based on record, if you look at some of the Cartier Privé collections out there, and this is more my jam. How many we hold a ton of them in stock. I always buy them, but I can't think of a color outside of the crash. There's no piece from the collection Privé from Cartier that trades over list. I think on the secondary market, once this hit the market back around after somebody has bought it, worn it, and decided to sell it back, you'd be lucky if they stay within the 20 to 30,000.
But again, we're given a time horizon of released after 6 months, right?
Okay.
Again, we don't like to speculate where it lands, but just based on where the market is, what the market has out there, and just overall aesthetics and what these brands have to offer, we're guesstimating. You like that word, guesstimating? 6 months out from release, because I think that's a honest way for people to get out in the market, buy this product, and see where they're. Well,
I'm going to throw a wrench in this whole thing and go to the next watch, and that's the Ulysse Nardin Freak S Nomad. Now, saw this watch in person. This is basically, and this is when I actually sat down with the CEO of Ulysse Nardin, and the concept behind this is you're bringing the old in with the new, so you have this sort of high-tech looking watch, looks like a spaceship, something that looks like it belongs in the movie Dune.
Super freaky.
But then you have the handcrafted 𝗙𝗿𝗄𝗄𝗃 dial.
Why Nomad?
Huh?
What's Nomad?
That's what they called it. I didn't even ask. Well, that interview is going to come out separately. Maybe he did talk about it. Now, this thing is limited to 99 pieces.
Yeah.
From what I understand, they're pretty much all spoken for, meaning that you're not going to be able to go to your point of sale and buy one of these. They're pretty much all spoken for. 150,000 list is warranted based on how complicated this timepiece is. This piece has the fastest differential and so on. So I'm not going to get into all the details on it. There's a separate video on that coming.
So 148,300 retail.
Not available.
Not available. Oh. It's good.
i.e. spoken for.
Yeah.
What do you see this?
Well, just because it's spoken for doesn't mean that they're spoken for and they don't get out of the market.
But if they do get out of the market, they get out over MSRP.
Let's hope. For one, I will say that Freaks are some of the coolest watches, period, on the market.
It's one of the most iconic ones, if you ask me.
Period. Often overlooked.
So for me, here's what's going to bias my opinion to say this thing is going to rate. This is going to trade over list, and that is the fact that as I'm walking around Geneva, a bunch of people came up to say hello, and the first question was, "Hey, what's your pick for the show?" Right? Because I ended up attending actual Watches and Wonders later when all the public was there, like Sunday, not the second to last day. So everybody's asking, "What's your pick? What's your pick? What's your pick?" And I answer them with a question back, because if I give them my pick, people can get biased, right? So my interest was, what does the public think? And I've asked them, I said, what's your pick? And you know what the two watches there I was told? The Ulysse Nardin Freak S and the IWC Eternal Perpetual. Those were the two watches that were picked by the public walking around. So this tells me that regular consumers, not dealers, were utterly impressed with the watch. And the best part about it is Nardin was it wasn't like any of the other brands where you come in, stand in line, then you got to go and see the watches. Their booth was completely open. People were freely walking in and out. All the quote unquote representative of salespeople that were there would sit anybody down at the table. I don't care if you were a dealer or just a passerby that would sit you down, show you all the models so long as you wanted it. It was an amazing experience, really. So I'm gonna take this watch and I'm gonna stick it in obviously the 100K plus column, but don't be surprised if you see this watch trading over list. And last but not least, obviously the JLC Duometre Heliotourbillon Perpetual. I'm not gonna get into the complexity of this watch and what Heliotourbillon is. All that information is already out there. It isn't, from a horological perspective, this is Jaeger flexing their muscles, because we know Jaeger is the watchmaker's watchmaker. We know what they can do. Just think about the gyrotourbillons.
By the way, I just think the layout of the dial and all the complications that are in it are absolutely beautifully laid out.
I mean, give me a little bit of Longa vibes, no?
Not really, because this is sort of. This
you have that perfect triangle.
JLC, from like the gyro stuff that they have, tourbillons protruding out of all types of places.
So here's another grand complication brought to you by Jaeger. I really like this. My only concern is A, how many are they going to make? B, how many are those going to hit the market? Historically speaking, when these things hit the set, put it this way, in the first 6 months, at
438 list.
at MSRP 438 list, you're not going to be able to get one for probably another years from
So
now.
we got a perpetual calendar, tourbillon, power reserve indicator. What else?
Heliotourbillon.
What even is that? Heliotourbillon.
That's
You said you weren't going to get into it, but now I'm curious.
It's going to take another episode. Let's just concentrate on the fact that it's 438,000 right now out of the gate. Obviously, it's going.
Super cool freaking watch.
It's going into the 100K plus column for obvious reasons. But the thing of it is for the first 6 months, which we're discussing, there's no way in the world you're getting this watch at a discount. So you're paying 438,000 for it. Years down the line, when these do hit the secondary, much like some of the Gyro Tourbillon or the Triptyque Grand Complication that they made in the past, they all tend to trade at half.
Yeah, if
They really, so unless they really control the production of this and put it in the right hands where the watch absolutely becomes unavailable 6 months post-release or a year post-release, they're going to continue trading at this.
It's $500,000 if you're buying in the U.S.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money.
It's not a cheap watch, but I'm gonna just do some honorable mention.
Is it weird that I liken more that it's 438,000 and 238,000?
Of course.
Isn't that weird how that works?
Listen, it's always been the mental game. If something is a little too cheap, it's an issue. That's one of the things that I was afraid
If
was
they made it $1 million, it would trade over.
One of the things I was concerned with when the Ulysse Nardin went through their whole re-imaging, when they came out with the newer, cheaper X's and they lowered their retail prices almost by 50%. I thought that was going to be an issue, and it was initially, but now they're starting to reap the benefits of that. Now people are going out there and paying list prices for a lot of the newer freaks, the cheaper freaks, etc. Which is why I think the Nomad is going to do extremely, extremely well. Any honorable mentions you think you want to talk about that we forgot?
Honorable mentions. I think going back JLC, a lot of the Duometries, non-tourbillon.
The new Duometre was amazing. Still not something that's going to trade over list. There's really, again, it's back to the same thing. It's Rolex, it's Patek, it's Richard Mille, it's Audemars Royal Oaks that are going to be trading over list, and the rest of the market is sort of going to just stay put.
How about from the Indies? Anything cool you saw?
So Indies I saw, oh my God, I saw so much cool stuff. One of the things I was super happy about that I got to experience with the man himself was Jean-Claude Biver, the Biver watch. All the shits people has been talking about, he can throw all that out the window. For somebody that can pick up a watch and appreciate it for what it is, the $500,000 price tag becomes secondary. That is a watch that is so well made.
Yeah.
Look, this is not a man that needs the money or is doing it for the money. It's a legacy thing for him, and the man is a legend in the business.
It's like a 𝗙𝗃𝗃.
Pretty much. When I picked up that watch and I got to see the watch, I got to see the case, the dials, everything separately as well, and I got to see the finishing, I got to see the quality, how well the bracelet is made. Again, many people don't put a lot of importance onto that, and they lost sight of how important or how difficult it is to make a good bracelet for a watch. Once I saw all that, and then obviously with the man behind it, like I saw a dial separately from the watch. I flipped the dial over. I'm like, Mr. Biver, you finished the back of the dial? You know, you take a dial out of a watch.
It's like rusted,
it's like a dirty piece of metal, right? And they're like, he's like, just because you don't see quality doesn't mean it shouldn't be there. Like it was just an insane experience. And listen, such a short production, I have zero worries. Don't be shocked if you see those watches trading over list, because you can't really get them.
Yeah, no doubt.
You can't really get them. Guys, we're going to wrap it up here. I appreciate you tuning into our quote-unquote predictions, but Adrian always tells it like it is. This is our opinion. This is his professional opinion as to where these things will end up. Don't be surprised if you see them trading at the price point discussed in this video. We'll see you in the next one. Don't forget, like, comment, share, subscribe. We put a lot of effort into these videos, and the way you can show appreciation is to hit the subscribe button. If you're not a subscriber, hit the like button and share this with your friends. We'll see you on the next one.